So you spend hours of your time watching cycling content on YouTube from independent creators, right? And have you ever wondered, who is the fittest cycling YouTuber between them all? Well, in today's video, that is exactly what we're gonna find out. What's up guys, my name is Charles and welcome back to my cycling YouTube channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more cycling content. So I'm super excited to share this video with you guys because first, it took me so much time and effort to gather all the data, but I feel like it's something that has never been done before and I'm sure it's piquing a lot of you guys' interest. So who do we have into this cycling YouTuber contest? Well, I had to set up specific criteria for it. We have 3 of them. The first, the content of the YouTuber must be road or racing related. Second is that they have over 10,000 subscribers. And third is that I could find their data online. I've used Zwift Power and Strava to find everything. Without further ado, here are our contenders. I want to mention here that this PowerPoint is inspired by the king of PowerPoints, Hambini. Here's our field lineup. So we have Cameron Jeffers, Cameron Nichols, China Cycling, Chris Opie, Durian Ryder, Dylan Johnson, Ed Leverett, Fernui, Jasper Verkugel, Lawrence Carpenter, Norcal Cycling, Phil Gaiman, Ride of Japan, the Vegan Cyclist, Chris Princhard, Charles Wimet, myself, and Chaz Tamran. Here are some DQ'd riders. So we have Safar Brian, who said that doesn't ride with the power meter. There's Chris Miller, Francis Cadet, Cycling Tom, that did not answer me on Instagram. And we have Ambini, who also doesn't ride with the power meter. And I know there's a bunch of other road cyclists with over 10,000 subscribers that I did not include in this contest. It's because I just don't know their names or I just don't know about their content. So if I miss someone, let me know in the comments down below. So how will I figure out the fittest YouTuber? There will be 6 categories and each categories will be awarded points. The 6 categories are the total lifetime kilometers and 2020 kilometers according to Strava, and 20 minutes, 5 minute, 1 minute, and 15-second power in watts per kilo according to Zwift Power. Some riders did not have a Zwift Power profile, so I've reached out to them for their data. These guys will get a 0.5 watts per kilo penalty on each category for the sake of fairness on the other who perform these power outputs onto a smart trainer. We all know that it's easier to push bigger watts outside. And now for the points. At each stage, the first place will get 30 points, second will get 20, third place will get 15, and then 4th to 17 will get 12, 11, 10, and just like that until 0. So after every single stage that the points will be awarded, there will be a GC, an overall standing, so you guys know who's the fittest rider throughout this stage race. All right, now stage 1, the total lifetime kilometers according to Strava. And if the rides are not on Strava, you guys know it doesn't count. So here we have Chris OP, who took first place on this, followed closely by Ed Laverack and Phil Gaiman, 182,000, 175,000, 169 for Phil Gaiman. And then the data goes down all the way to myself at 25,000 and Chris Princhard, who I'm a little bit surprised by this because he used to be a pro on track. I'm pretty sure he's not the type of guy who put everything on Strava, so he get last place and I get second to last. So here we have the GC ranking with Chris, Ed, Phil, Lawrence, Chaz, Tamron, Durian, Vegan, Jasper, Norcal, Ride of Japan, China Cycling, Cameron, Dylan, and Fernui, who gets points on this first stage. Moving on to the total 2020 kilometers. And here we have Phil Gaiman, unsurprisingly, with a whopping 23,000 kilometers. Chaz, super close with Ed, 20,000 kilometers. All the way down to Chris, and China Cycling 4,000, Norcal 6,000. I'm a bit surprised by the low kilometers of Jeff. Maybe he doesn't put everything on Strava, but as we say, if it's not on Strava, it doesn't count. Now we have Phil Gaiman, who took first place into the GC, followed by Chris and Ed once again. Moving on to the stage number 3, 20 minutes watts per kilo. And we have in first place, without any surprise again, Phil Gaiman, the king of the climbs, with a whopping 5.8 watts per kilo, and that is with the 0.5 penalty because Phil gave me his data on Instagram because he's not on Zwift Power and he still get first place. Close by again, Ed and Chaz, super fit guys. Look, Vegan Cyclist, China Cycling, Durian, myself at just shy of 5, Norcal at 5 almost, And then all the way down to Chris again, last place. Sorry, buddy, but you gotta push more on Zwift. The GC after stage number 3 stay exactly the same with Phil and Chaz. But trust me, it's about to change. Moving on to the stage number 4, the 5 minutes watts per kilo. And then we have in first place, again, Phil Gaiman, who's totally crushing this stage race right now. And we have a new guy into that top 3, and it's Dylan Johnson. Dylan is not too much into the road, but he's also a lot into the coaching side of YouTube. But I included his data because he looks super fast. But the GC stays the same after stage number 4. We have Chris, who's super shy of the podium, vegan cyclist, Dylan, Durian, and Lawrence, who all are in the middle of the pack. I'm falling back a bit to the back of the peloton with Jasper, Cameron Nichols, China Cycling, Ride of Japan, and Fern Wee. Chris at this point is just dropped. Now stage number 5, it's the 1 minute full power in watts per kilo once again. And in first place, we have someone new, and it's Jeff from Norco Cycling with a whopping 10.94 watts per kilo. Jeff is a big guy, he's a sprinter, and as you see in pretty much every single of his Alviso Crit video, he wins the race most of the time. Phil Gaiman is still there in second place, Dylan is there as well. Here I am finally making my place into the peloton with the 5th place with just shy of 9 watts per kilo in front of vegan cyclist Ed Leverett, Cam Nichols, and Cameron Jeffers. I'm a bit surprised I haven't talked about Cameron Jeffers. He's just been in the middle of the pack pretty much this whole race, but this might change throughout that last stage. And now for the GC, didn't change again. Phil Gaiman and Leverett, Chaz Turmrun with the top 3. And really close is Norco Cyclist, Vegan Cyclist, and Dylan Johnson, who are fighting for a podium at the last stage. And moving on to that stage number 6, 15 watts per kilo. And we have in first place, unsurprisingly, Norco Cycling with 17.1 watts per kilo. That is a massive sprint from Jeff. No wonder he wins all of his sprints. And back to the podium, we have Chris OP. So Chris had the first place on the most kilometers in his life. And here he is, second place with the 16.9. And here I am on the podium with 15.98 watts per kilo for my first 3rd place into this stage race. And here we finally see Cameron Jeffers into that front of that peloton, just shy of the podium with a 4th place in front of Cameron Nichols, Dylan, and here we have Phil Gaiman. Phil Gaiman is a climber, he's a guy super good in endurance, but those endurance riders do lack in sprints, so here he is, middle of the pack for the first time in this race. Moving down, Ed Leverett, Rides of Japan, Chaz Turmrun, Jasper Verkelger, China Cycling, vegan cyclist who doesn't look to have a big sprint. Maybe he's missing some protein. Just kidding. And we have Durian Rider and Lawrence Carpenter into last place of the sprint. Chris finally not into the last place of this race. So, the podium, who wins this GC race? Well, first of all, in 3rd place, we have Jeff from Norco Cycling. 2nd place, Ed Leverett. A little bit surprised, maybe not a lot of you guys know this guy. So here we have the final GC ranking with Phil, Ed, Norco, Chris, Chaz, Dylan, vegan cyclist, myself, right in front of Cameron Jeffers. I'm kind of stoked on that. Cam Nichols, Lawrence Carpenter, Durian Rider, Jasper, Ride of Japan, China Cycling, Fern Wee, and Chris Princhards. All right, now, so I know this though doesn't mean a lot. I've took data from Zwift Power. Some people don't push a lot on Zwift. Before you guys leave comments saying this stage race doesn't make any sense, let me tell you that I agree with you. All these numbers were taken online on Zwift Power or Strava, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense to compare data and just see who wins a race, who wins a GC. But I'm opening the discussion here to a race. What about we all do a Zwift race? Would that interest the public? Will that interest you, the viewers, to see who's the fastest into a crit city race or who's the fastest on any Zwift course? That would be fun. If any cycling YouTubers want to be part of this race, just reach out to me by email or on Instagram at @charleswime, and I will set up that race if we have enough interested riders to do this kind of race and just entertain and show to the world truly who's the fittest cycling YouTuber. Because Phil Gaiman on Zwift, I doubt it. I really doubt it. It doesn't ride Zwift, but I doubt it would win. Alright, that's it for today's though. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you aren't already. I have a lot more cycling content coming in next few weeks that you don't want to miss out. In the event, there were some cycling YouTubers that you didn't know that were into this race today. I will leave the links to all the YouTube channels in the description down below, so do not hesitate to check them out if you want more cycling content into your life. Alright, my name is Charles and I will see you guys on the road or into the next video. Peace.